Hey everybody, it's Professor Malat. I am doing a quick drop in here with this hopefully short video that explains the final course reflection. So, this is the final assignment for this class. And one of the course learning outcomes or the course learning objectives, student learning objectives, is articulate what you know about reading, research, and writing processes and how you can apply that knowledge in various contexts. So I've assigned for you to read the essay, I passed first year writing, What Now? It's probably about 8 to 10 pages, I think. And it's a good article to read, an essay to read from the perspective of a first year writing instructor. And it kind of relates to students how you can take the knowledge that you've gained from this semester, what you've learned about writing, what you've learned about rhetoric and reading and research, and how you can apply that in various contexts. What are you going to do with what you've learned, right? And hopefully you'll be able to do a lot with what you've learned. So the reflection here, it's not an analysis of how well I did my job as an instructor or an overall assessment for the course. You have an opportunity to do that separately and anonymously through the UC course evaluation. I will be providing a link to that evaluation so that you can get that done. That's a very quick course evaluation, and essentially you get to honestly evaluate how the course went and how I did as your instructor. So, I do want to address the fact that it's been a difficult semester for me. It was hard losing my mom only 2 weeks into the semester, and I really kind of left my world and how I've been uh, teaching this semester in kind of a whirl, right? So I don't normally uh, teach in this way. I'm usually a lot more active in the course, and I usually provide a lot more updated video content, but I really didn't have the mental or emotional bandwidth to do that. So I apologize for that, but things are getting better. So hopefully, hopefully, um, things will improve for next semester, even just the summer. So anyway, back to the course reflection assignment. What I'm asking you to do is to consider what you've learned in this class this semester, and I have a series of several questions for you to answer. Um, what have you learned about reading, research, and writing from the course? So I want you to use specific examples from your assignments or any of the learning resources that you interacted with from the course that will help support your answer. The next question is, what was one thing you learned this semester that has helped you improve as a writer? Again, I want you to point to specific examples from the course or from your own work. And lastly, how do you think you can use what you've learned from this class in other classes or even in your everyday life moving forward? So, with this question, I really want you to make the connections clear to me. This isn't a long assignment, maximum 2 double-space pages. If you prefer to do any kind of a presentation, kind of the multimodal, multimedia type thing, you're welcome to put together a PowerPoint or Google Slides or Prezi show. You could record a video where you just sit and answer those questions in front of your computer, your webcam, or in front of your phone. Or if you prefer, you could just do an audio recording. If you do some kind of recorded presentation, try to keep it under 10 minutes. It's a full class, and I am teaching several other sections in as well as your class this semester. So it just means, be mindful of the time that it takes for me to assess what you've presented. Please be creative, but also make sure that you present yourself in your best light. I really am curious what you learned about reading, research, and writing. What's one thing that is going to help you improve as a writer, and how do you think you can use what you've learned in other classes? The assignment is due the last day of classes. That's Friday, April 24th. Um, I really don't want to accept late submissions just because that takes me farther into the end of the semester and I just have a boatload of work to do. So I ask you to be timely with your submissions. Again, you can submit a website URL, a media recording, or a file upload. I don't want it to be a text submission. Of course, it should go without saying, but it should be your own original work. So that is it. It's been a great semester. I again apologize for some of the snarls that we hit early on and um, the fact that I wasn't more available than I usually am. Of course, you don't know that unless you've taken a course with me previously. Um, but I do tend to be a little bit more interactive in the courses, and I usually do provide uh, more feedback, not just grading things like the discussion boards and the easy assignments without any kind of comments. I typically do leave a lot more commentary than I have this semester. But again, I've just been seriously stressed. So anyway, I hope you all have a great end of the semester. I wish you all the luck in finals. I know it can be a very stressful period of your academic lives and you want to get it over with. And then, of course, I hope you have time to have an enjoyable summer. Take care, everybody, and best of luck. Bye bye.